Did you go to 2 pages? Large print.
It's actually quite small when there's about to finish.
Right. You'll have to forgive me because the voice doesn't travel that well anymore.
You did. Turn the aircon off.
Yeah.
Or boil.
So, forgive me. Hopefully you'll be able to hear me, but the voice doesn't travel that well. Inside. When I decided that I was leaving, I said to Simon, David and Nick that I did not want to sit in the famous chair and receive a long speech, so I decided instead I would say a few words. I think that's been usurped. I started working at what was Sheldon Stern in March 1982, when most of you were either at school or hadn't even been thought of. The contrasts between the company I joined and the one I'm leaving are enormous. I joined a company that consisted of my dad, Bernard, and a secretary who worked 3 half-days a week. Every task we did was carried out manually. On new business, we calculated the equity, and we had to work out what the monthly repayments would be by hand, and sometimes with a calculator. On the account side, we would manually write up the cash books, post entries to the borrow ledger, and manually calculate the interest in order we could agree control accounts. In 1982, we had a computer that only worked out redemption figures, and even then you had to manually input every entry each time you had to prepare a figure. In the 1980s, we didn't have to worry about compliance and regulation when we probably should have done.
Still don't.
In 1984, I was joined by David and then Simon. We had a hard life. We would get to work by about 9, work until about 1, go home for lunch and play snooker, and then get back at work for about 3 and still be home by 6. At this stage, I should mention that I've known Simon, who's not here unfortunately, for 47 years. He's my oldest friend, he was my best man, and I was responsible for getting him into this business. David was a younger brother who I think we probably ignored until we needed to get the football from the next door neighbour's garden. David, like Simon, has been like a brother to me. The 3 of us were very lucky as we had great business teachers and our fathers. We learnt so much from them, but they allowed us to develop the business as we saw fit, while always being supportive of us. Our fathers also trusted us, and I would like to think that you appreciate the enormous trust that we have placed in you in the various aspects of your job. In the last 31 years, I have seen our business go through and come out of 2 recessions, which was no means a feat itself. I've seen the business grow so that in 2007, we wrote 50 million of new loans in a year, and we had nearly 60 staff. The period between 2008 and September 2012 was very hard for Simon, David and me, as we saw that there was a chance that we could lose everything we had worked for. Thankfully, we did the deal with OSB, and I think that you all have very exciting prospects with OSB, who we know have the desire to grow. Over the years, we have employed many staff, and it has been my privilege and pleasure to have worked with so many kind, caring and talented people. I did not intend today to start talking about individual staff that I've worked with. Yes.
Oh good, not that I'll be any better. Okay. I did not intend today to start talking about individual staff that I have worked with or start reminiscing. Oh no.
Next.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
It's like the Von Trapp family.
You're going next and then you.
I did not intend today to start talking about individual staff that I have worked with or start reminiscing about things that happened years ago. I will save that for when I have had a few drinks, or perhaps I will write a book. But I do want to say a few words about Nick, who I have sat opposite or next to for more years than I can remember. Nick is a loyal friend and colleague who it has been my pleasure to work and talk to for the last 25 years. I remember Nick going through the trials and tribulations of dating Kelly, then marrying Kelly, and then becoming a father. Nick has been a fabulous asset to the company, and I was lucky to have worked so well with him over the years. I have been told on too many occasions, which I can hardly believe, that when new staff first meet me, they are scared of me. Thankfully, in time they realise that they have got me totally wrong and that I'm quite a nice bloke really. I hope that during my years here that you have all felt comfortable to come and chat with me about any issues that concern you, and I hope that you have regarded me as a friend as well as a boss. Can you know?
So much has happened to me in the last 31 years. I started working as a single man, and then I made the most sensible move by marrying Candy in 91. And we've been blessed with 4 children. During those years I went through angioplasty and cancer twice. And apart from those 2 events, I wouldn't have changed a thing in my life. Leaving is very hard, but I can tell you that I will look back on 31 very happy years with wonderful memories. I will especially miss the Christmas parties and hearing all the juicy gossip that you can only get when your colleagues are plastered. As well as generally getting on Candy's nerves, I'll be popping in to see you, and if you want a personal chat, then I'll be delighted to hear from you. That's it.
You're really fast at monitoring that. Right, so I've got something in the eye. Firstly, I actually want to start by thanking Shelley, Rebecca, Sean and Lauren who have organised the food and gift for you.
Thank you.
So much appreciated for your help. Please turn the camera off, seriously.
It's not working anyway.
I'm surprised it's not working. Okay. H. What can I say? Having known and worked with you for 25 years, I did not think the time would ever come that we would be separated, unless you fired me, of course. My first memory of you was walking through the old offices in Matty House in Edgware, with your feet up on the desk, you had no shoes on, and you were smoking. For a 16-year-old who had just left school, it was not quite what I expected the director of a finance company to be doing. That memory will stay with me forever. When you first meet Howard, as I'm sure most people agree, he can come across as quite intimidating. Really though, we all know that he's just a big lovable teddy bear. Howard is always there to offer people advice on both a business and personal basis. I cannot count the number of times he's called people, me included, into the boardroom to offer his many years of wisdom. He has always wanted to help people where he could, and I'm sure you all agree that wherever you needed something, Howard would help. Including offering to find a man or a woman for that matter, for the single girls in the office. We've had so many laughs over the years, some of which I cannot share with you, especially if Candy's here. But we are all aware that Howard does enjoy a good old boogie. At the office Christmas parties, you will either find Howard propped up at the bar or showing off some of his infamous dance moves. As we all know, Howard is very partial to a bit of wham, or basically any song that involves him moving his arms in very strange ways. There are so many things I can mention about Howard, from his toilet habits, many magazines such as the Estates Gazette have been read over the years, to the number of chairs he has broken. One of his favourite pastimes if that's what you would call it, is spread betting. Please though, do not ever mention Yevgeny Kafelnikov to him, but you can certainly mention bookings at Euro 96. As you're all aware, Howard is partial to the odd whiskey, particularly on a Saturday afternoon. Following his few drinks he would then normally go home to have a sleep. I'm still not sure whether that was because of the amount of alcohol he'd consumed or because his parents and in-laws were coming over. You can draw your own conclusions. Over the years, the business has gone through many ups and downs. It was, however, mainly down to how, I should put it, Howard's creative accounting over the years that the business was saved. Andy, you didn't hear. Without Howard, there was a very good chance that we would not be standing here today, and for that we should all be eternally grateful. Howard had gone through an awful lot over the years, mainly due to ill health, but he has battled past everything that has been thrown at him, and if there's anyone that deserves some good luck and fortune in the future, it is Howard. He can now spend more time with Candy and the kids doing the things that he wants to. He is very much a family man, and Candy and the kids are going to be very lucky to have him around the house, being able to spend more quality time with him. I don't want to go on for ages, even though I know I could. But what I will say is that you'll be missed by everyone, and I know for me it's going to be very strange coming on Monday morning, knowing that you're not going to be sitting next to me. Please come in from time to time to visit us, and please make sure that you're at the Christmas party this year so you can see some of those famous dance moves. I think the buffet is.
Oh, hold
now.
on, we've still got.
Oh yes, sorry, we've got my dolly dealer over here. It's a gift from everybody.
Is mine working now?
Yes. If you don't like it, the pound shop is down the road.
Enter the watch surgery down just recently. Thank you. I will promise to read that later. No, thank you so much. Thank you. This is genuinely just what I needed. So you see my wallet is
It's falling to pieces.
Thank you so much, really, really kind of. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, lunch is served.
Next door, but please enjoy.
Oh, of course it is.
What?
You're not recording though. When the package comes.